Hi, everyone. We've been working our way through this set of basketball cards. This is the 1970-71 ABA All-Star 5x7 picture pack. We've looked at 9 cards if you include this one. Card number 9, going in order by last name. This is Jim McDaniels. And as with most of the cards in this set, there's a lot more excitement behind this card than just the misspelled last name. You've probably noticed that it's missing an S here. Jim McDaniel, his name's actually Jim McDaniels. So pretty big error there. We're going to be talking about a lot more than that, though. We have to talk about some NCAA victories that had to be voided. Very interesting. There was a secret draft, and then we have some ABA versus NBA kind of legal salary drama. So in other words, Jim McDaniel's biography is far from boring. Let's start when he was in college. He was essential in his college team, Western Kentucky University, placing third in the 1971 NCAA tournament. Western Kentucky U, placing third, 1971. In fact, he was the top scorer in that tournament. Okay, now wait a minute. 1971. Didn't we just say this is a 1970-71 basketball card set? ABA? These dates aren't making sense, huh? Well, the NCAA was surprised too, let me tell you that. So they found that Jim McDaniels had signed a professional contract and accepted money during the 1970-71 season. That's against the rules. Western Kentucky's place in that 1971 NCAA tournament was voided because of this. So this confusion and this whole situation here, it was probably related to what's sometimes referred to as a secret draft that the ABA was doing. McDaniels was supposedly drafted by the Utah Stars, and he signed with them for $900,000 in 1971. Now, this was according to a February 1971 article in Jet magazine. Very important that you read that if you're interested. I'm going to put a link to that article in the description. It goes to Google Books, but you'll be able to find that article very easily based on that link. And read it carefully. There's another player in the same article, Howard Porter. He got caught in a similar situation. And he said, look, I wasn't even aware that I was drafted by the ABA. So it was just this mess of confusion. But it resulted in that third place finish in the NCAA tournament being voided. It did. Wild. So through all of this, secret draft, Utah Stars, I don't know. Look, somehow Jim McDaniel ended up playing first for the Carolina Cougars. Maybe someone else knows the details of how that happened. I don't. But he starts his professional career with the Carolina Cougars. They offer him $1.35 million over 25 years. Now, of course, anytime you say the word million, it sounds like a lot. But did you hear that? Over 25 years. So he signs this contract. And then he probably realized, this isn't that huge of an amount of money spread out like that. Because according to the New York Times, McDaniels then asked for the time frame to be reduced to 15 years. And then he wanted $50,000 for aggravation. So he wasn't happy about this. It sounds like he kind of got tricked into that contract. Well, not happy at all. So at this point, February 1972 we're at now, McDaniels signs with the Seattle Supersonics. And it just didn't work out. He wasn't as successful as he was before. First of all, he was probably distracted by continued legal drama with the Carolina Cougars. They were questioning that jump to the NBA. It's like, look, you're under contract with us. Now you jumped over there. What's going on? And in fact, McDaniels later admitted in an interview that he probably jumped too soon. He was young. He just couldn't handle so many things going bad. That's what he said. That's understandable. So, by the way, the Carolina Cougars, it sounds like they were a little, a little tough to do business with. So, we just discussed this Jim McDaniels issue, a contract spread over 25 years. Well, I have another video. If you're interested, you might want to check it out. There's another card from this set. Let me show you. This is Joe Caldwell. You see, Carolina Cougars. Again. Well, if you watched that video, they offered him a pension. And then, of course, they didn't want to pay it after a while. It was like, oh, man, we promised this guy retirement. That was a bad idea. That went to court. They had to end up paying him the money. I mean, it was the contract. But it just sounds like they threw whatever they wanted on paper, whether they thought it was going to stick or not. Crazy situation. Carolina Cougars. More about them in that Joe Caldwell video. But moving on, if this is the first of these 1970-71 ABA All-Star Picture Pack cards that you've encountered in my videos, let me tell you a little bit more about them in general. You'll notice it's kind of hard to call them cards. In fact, if you're tracking down the set, you might end up surprised to learn they're just 5x7 pieces of paper. See? That's all they are. Not really basketball cards per se. The backs, as you saw, are completely blank. Fortunately, you don't have to worry too much about authenticity. But if you are worried at all, just like I showed you with this Joe Caldwell, put it against a plain piece of white paper. And this is what you should see, these different colors here. Because they are aged. They're from 1970. That's what the paper stock looks like against plain white printer paper. Nice simplicity here to these cards. Simple black and white photos. Player team name underneath. No numbering. That's why we're going alphabetically by last name. That puts this one at number 9. 12 All-Stars from the ABA make up the set. Rick Barry's the highlight. He's the first card in the set. Despite these cards being paper and being a little bit off the beaten path, they're really an excellent source of history for a collection. The price of them's unpredictable because they're rarely on the market. If there's another buyer looking for them, you're probably going to have to pay. It's going to go over 3 digits. But sometimes you can catch them when no one else is looking, if you're interested. And you can get them below that. You can get them at a very reasonable price. Really just depends on these ones. Well, there you go. Jim McDaniels. Misspelled card. A lot of drama there. Hope you enjoyed looking at it. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.